So you've heard about all of the sunshine that comes in with San Diego and that sunshine tax, but today we're going to be talking about the top 10 things you got to know before you pick up, move everything to San Diego, California, and we're going to get after it right now. What's up, amazing people? I am Liz LaFleur here with the MortgageLiz team located out of San Diego, California. And if you're looking for the channel that's talking about everything you gotta know about what it's like to eat, live, sleep, and play here in San Diego, then this is the channel for you. You definitely wanna click that subscribe button and tap that little bell so you're reminded every single time we release a new video. Because honestly, we do it every single week. And honestly, my team and I are receiving phone calls every single day with people just like you thinking about making that move to somewhere in San Diego. And if you're thinking about making that move, you definitely want to reach out to us. Give us a call, send us a text, or an email, whatever is easiest for you. We definitely want to have your back when moving to San Diego. Now, let's get after the top 10 things that you need to know before you move to San Diego. So first on our list is, in fact, there is so much to do in San Diego. So number one, you got stuff to do every single day. And because of that, that's truly why so many people come to San Diego to vacation, because you can go from hiking, you can go to the beaches, you can go see festivals and musicals and a whole bunch of marathons that of course happen here in San Diego. So of course there is so much to do here in San Diego. We also have the safari park, which is actually located out of Escondido, which is definitely something you want to hit up if you're thinking about just checking out San Diego to see if this is something that you want to stay into. Then we have the zoo, which is also here in San Diego, which if you get passes, if you happen to be here for a longer period of time, you definitely want to have passes. So because the passes to the San Diego Zoo and the passes to the safari park are one and the same, so you can technically go to both of them in the annual pass. And then we have SeaWorld, which is technically located off the 5 and 56. So over there, you're gonna find, of course, all of the sea lions and our whales and the dolphins. And so you definitely, of course, have annual passes over there to SeaWorld. So when it comes to San Diego, I mean, not just the beaches, because there is over 30 of them here in San Diego, but there's also so much other stuff that you can do. We have a lot of marathons, a lot of fun runs, a lot of 4Ks, 5Ks, 10Ks that happen here in San Diego. And then in downtown Balboa Park, there's a lot of other things that you can do besides just the beaches. And then when you do come travel down here in San Diego, because you're still trying to debate whether you want to live here or not, you definitely want to check out the Coastal 5, where you can see Carlsbad, Encinitas, Oceanside. You're going to find a lot of our beaches over there, along with Coronado and Coronado Island. You're going to find a lot of beaches that are not the ones that you typically find. There are a variety of beaches when it comes to San Diego, and we're going to get to that in just one second. But when you look at the amount of things that you can do, not just for yourself, but even for your family, going into Legoland that's in Carlsbad, I mean, there's so many things that you can do here in San Diego. And whether you're a local or just a tourist, you definitely want to check out all of the different spots, because technically you could be in a new spot every weekend because there is so many things to do. And on to number two, and that's the companies that are coming to San Diego. So did you know that actually Apple was thinking about coming to San Diego to be able to have one of their corporate offices here? We also have Qualcomm and Illumina here in San Diego. Yes, of course, there is companies that are leaving San Diego because we do have a higher cost of living here in San Diego, and it is getting pricey when it comes to our sunshine tax. But with people leaving, there are many people that are coming, and especially within the companies. If you're thinking about doing nursing, there's definitely a lot of hospitals that you could check out to be able to find a new employment here in San Diego as well. And let's not forget about all the breweries. Yes, San Diego is actually known for breweries, and there is so many of those as well. And one of my absolute favorites is going to be Stone. Stone is actually located here in Escondido. And so Stone is one of my absolute favorites, mainly because they have this delicious pretzel and also this salad that's got cranberries and chicken. And I mean, that is probably one of my favorites. Let's not forget about, of course, they have IPA, and then they also have my kombucha, which is also something that I absolutely love, that we get to go do date nights over to Stone here in Escondido. They were also actually used to be located in San Marcos. So if you visited San Diego recently, you may also know that they have moved, and it's been a little while, but depending on the last time you were here, you may probably remember that they were in San Marcos. And on to number 3, and that's going to be the weather. Okay, so look, when it comes to the weather here in San Diego, yes, of course, we have a whole bunch of sunshine, yes. And over 270 days here in San Diego are actually all sunshine, but we also do get rain. So here in San Diego, no, we don't get rain like Seattle or like New York, and we don't get cold weather like New York or any of like the snow that's happening in Houston right now. And to be quite honest, we don't get snow at all. So when it comes to here in San Diego, snow is like one and far between. There was a day literally last month where we had snow coming in like Rancho Bernardo, Rancho Penasquitos, and they had snow once, and then we had hail coming up here in Escondido during that time. But no, when it comes to the snow, that's not something that you're gonna find here in San Diego. However, if you wanna go up in the mountains, which is up north, and it's about 30 minutes up to Big Bear and Palomar Mountain, of course, you're gonna find snow up there. And you can actually even see the snow that is in Big Bear and Palomar Mountain from down here in the inland cities like Escondido and San Marcos. And of course, you can always check the Weather Channel, but it's always really cool how you can leave Escondido, leave the nice warm weather, 75, 85 degrees, and then go up to Big Bear and Palomar Mountain, and where you can find the snow like literally less than an hour later. And then on the flip side, then you can go to the beaches where there's over 30 of them here in San Diego, and it's about 10 degrees cooler on the coast than it is in inland. And because of that, you're gonna find that our actual water is gonna be a lot colder. You're not gonna find warm water when it comes to our beaches on our weather on those 30 different beaches, but it is also still about, let's say inland, about 85 degrees, and then the coastal is gonna be about 75 degrees. So you're probably gonna want a wetsuit if you're coming to San Diego, and if you're gonna be visiting the beaches a lot, that's definitely gonna be something that you wanna do. So along with the actual sunny, we also do have rain. Okay, look, so it's not a lot of rain. I mean, like maybe we get like 10 to 20 inches of rain through the entire year. And because of that, we are not accustomed to honestly having umbrellas. I mean, the last time I even looked for an umbrella was months ago, back in October, when we were actually having some kind of rain. November and December really didn't have rain, maybe one off day here and there, but it wasn't really something that was steadily on an everyday basis. And because of that, you're not gonna really have, honestly, like an umbrella ready to go. Typically, you end up finding that because you don't have to use your umbrella very often, you end up having to go buy a new umbrella more commonly because you can't find it. And so that is something that I actually run into a lot. And then also in general here in San Diego, you are of course going to be finding the average about 75 to 80 degrees, depending on whether you're inland or coastal or you're in the desert, kind of like Alpine or Fallbrook, Ramona. In that sorts of area, you are going to find it a little bit hotter than the inland. It just really depends in the city that you're looking for. Keep in mind that San Diego County has over 3 million people. And because of that, the amount of cities that you can be looking at is really significantly different. The other thing that you want to keep in mind when it comes to that weather, one of the things that I was talking about before was that the weather changes quite a bit. While you're constantly getting sun all the time, when it does change, it's pretty drastic. So you want to make sure that you're ready for it. And on to number 4. San Diego is actually really kid friendly. And because it's kid friendly, you're gonna find yourself having a lot to do. So from San Diego Zoo, which is located in downtown San Diego, or the Safari Park, which is actually here in Escondido, or maybe you're going to Mission Beach and you want to go to Belmont Park, or maybe even going to Carlsbad, then you got to go to Legoland. And then you got SeaWorld, which is located off the 8 in Mission Bay. There is definitely a lot to do here in San Diego when it comes to kid friendly. And so depending on where you want to live, and honestly, it doesn't even really matter, because technically you could be living in Chula Vista, or you could be living in Escondido, you could be living in Vista, and all of these kid-friendly spots are honestly between 20 to 30 minutes within a distance. So you could be off and about on a family day real quick from the morning within about 30 minutes. And on to number 5, and that's gonna be the beaches. So on the beaches, we have over 30 beaches here in San Diego. I mean, you could go to Coronado Island, you could be in Oceanside, and then in Vista, on the corners of Oceanside and Vista, in Carlsbad. There's definitely a lot of beaches that it comes here in San Diego. So you could find some beaches that have a little bit more rock, whereas other beaches have a whole bunch more sand. Then other beaches, like in Oceanside, you're gonna have a real tough time trying to find a parking spot so your car doesn't get towed. So it really depends on what you're looking for. And we will be doing future videos about all of the beaches that are here in San Diego because there's 30 of them. I mean, you can't talk about all of them in this video. And with 30 beaches that cover over 70 miles, honestly, you could technically visit a beach every single weekend and not visit the same beach more than twice in 1 year because that's how many beaches we got. So you definitely want to check those out when you're thinking about moving here to San Diego. And on to number 6, and that's going to be the sports. So I'm sure you're aware here in San Diego, we don't have a football team. We used to have a football team, but they left us and they're in Los Angeles, along with the other team, which is also in Los Angeles, with another team that's also in Los Angeles. So right now we've got no football team. With that being said, we also have an amazing Padres team. So I'm sure you're aware of Fernando Tatis Jr. that just signed with San Diego for $340 million on the contract to stay here in San Diego. And did you hear that also in our Padres that we are actually pretty likely to be able to hit the World Series? I mean, so that's pretty awesome. Oh, and the playoffs. So while we don't have a football team, we're wrapped up in softball, so therefore we're loving the baseball. And so you want to make sure to check out the Padres. And of course, we don't have any basketball teams. We definitely do have college teams though. So you can check out the San Diego Aztecs that actually end up playing in the Qualcomm Stadium, and they end up playing in a whole bunch of games. So while we don't have a professional football team, we definitely have a lot of substitutes and a whole bunch of sports here in San Diego. And of course, you have all of your kid-friendly sports stuff as well. You'll find that baseball, softball, soccer, I mean, there's so many sports in every single community, whether it's in a city or in comparison to like one city actually has 4 different baseball leagues. So of course, you're gonna be able to find that kid-friendly sport that your kid is really wanting to get into. And on to the next one, and that's gonna be the cost of living. So yes, of course, when it comes to the cost of living, I'm sure you're aware we pay the sunshine tax here in San Diego. So of course, the cost of living is gonna be a bit higher than the national average. With that being said, it's all about the lifestyle when it comes to here in San Diego. So depending on where you wanna live, in San Diego, the cost of living is going to be either higher or less expensive. If you're looking to Rancho Santa Fe, or maybe you're looking to Escondido, or a comparison to Valley Center, or a comparison to Carmel Mountain. I mean, those are 4 different, massively different communities and cost of living. And so of course we are a bit more expensive in general when comparing to, let's say, Houston, Texas. Yeah, we are a bit more expensive when it comes to cost of living. But on the bright side, we are 8.2% less expensive than Los Angeles. So if you want to avoid the traffic and have a little bit lower cost of living, then you definitely want to check out San Diego because it does cost less to live here in San Diego. And of course, we got over 270 days of sunshine, which is a lot more than you typically will find in Los Angeles. And on to number 8, and that's going to be military bases. So we are definitely a military town. We have a lot of Navy bases, we have a lot of Marine Corps bases, and with that, we are known as the largest national concentration of military in the national average. And over 15,000 active military personnel end up retiring and they move here to San Diego to enjoy our sunshine. You will find that it is actually really common to be living in another state and then retiring here in San Diego when it comes to being in the military. And did you also know that there's over 240,000 veterans that actually reside here in San Diego? I mean, we do have a lot of bases, and so it is pretty common. You will end up being able to use your VA benefits to be able to buy your next home, your new home, or your forever home here in San Diego. With San Diego being home of over 60% of the U.S. ships for the U.S. Navy and over 1/3 of the Marine Corps out of the U.S. Marines. It's crazy to see that over 26% of our jobs here in San Diego actually do come from these types of employment. So definitely we are for sure a military town. And our number 9 spot is going to be the food. Yes, the food here in San Diego is absolutely amazing. But don't get me wrong, There's a lot of places in San Diego that I would not eat at because they don't have either the best Yelp reviews, or maybe we haven't actually found that specific spot that we definitely want to eat at, or maybe it's the food was not the great the first time. With that being said, there is a whole bunch of other spots that you're gonna find in San Diego that has got an amazing amount of food. And of course, being so close to the border, you're gonna find some amazing Mexican spots, and not just one, but a lot of them. So if you're coming from Houston, this isn't Tex-Mex, this is Mexican food. It's very different. And so when you're looking at that carne asada burrito, it's got the full carne asada chopped up real good with the salsa pico. And for me, I can't handle that. So that's out of the salsa pico and just adding the regular guacamole. And that's how I have my carne asada burrito. And then you have my kids that absolutely love the bean burritos. So you definitely want to check out the different spots when it comes to the Mexican food here in San Diego. I mean, just when you look at city per city, you're gonna find different styles of Mexican food, and some Mexican food is obviously better than other ones. But we have such a variety. I mean, we also have Italian spots, we have pho, we have Vietnamese food, we have Thai food. There is so many different food spots that you can definitely try here in San Diego. And let's not forget about San Diego's Restaurant Week. So that has got to be my absolute favorite week of the entire year, mainly because it's date night. So we typically end up going out to a lot of dates based off of Restaurant Week. So you get to try a whole bunch of different restaurants that maybe were not as affordable originally when you were trying to check them out. And so you get some really good deals to be able to try out a lot of spots. And then there's also events such as like the Little Italy event, where you can get to check out all of the different spots, all the different restaurants in Little Italy, and trying out all of their different food for one low price. So of course, there's a lot of food spots to be able to check out here in San Diego, but there's a lot of extra things that you definitely want to check out if you want to save some money. And let's not forget that San Diego, on our number 10 spot, is craft beer capital of America. There is so many spots that you can try when it comes to craft beer. And there are so many breweries that were actually created here in San Diego. Some of my most favorite spots are Ballast Point, Stone, and Green Flash. I gotta tell you, I haven't tried Green Flash yet, but it's definitely on my list. So brewing has been one of the most fastest growing businesses here in San Diego. And along with how it's been growing so much, there's actually also a brew fest that happens every single year. And there's also an IPA that happens from Stone every single year. But of course, we are in the middle of coronavirus right now, so we definitely can't have any of those brew fests right now, but it will be something for the future to be able to have those date nights. Every single year we had the San Diego Beer Festival. It was actually being held at the Del Mar Fair, where actually you had multiple states that were coming in and multiple countries for this entire festival. So I mean, there's a lot of brewing happening here in San Diego that you definitely want to take advantage of. And when you're thinking about one of these places, whether it's the beer or whether it's the weather or whether it's the beaches, I mean, they're all great reasons to be able to live here in San Diego. But of course, one is more important than the other, right? To me, it's gonna be like Legoland and the safari park and the zoo, all of the kid-friendly stuff. Or in my husband, it may be the fact that we are the Brewfest beer capital of America here in San Diego. So when you're ready to make that move here to San Diego, whether it's for the beer or for Legoland, you definitely want to reach out to us. Give us a call, send us a text, or an email, whatever is easiest for you. You definitely want to reach out to us because we got your back when moving to San Diego. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button right there and click that little bell to make sure that you're reminded every single time that we release a new video. Because honestly, we're doing them every single week. And every single week, we're coming out with new information about what it's like to eat, live, sleep, and play here in San Diego, California. And until next time, see you later.